We saw the 33 team getting the tires ready, about to come onto pit road as the entire field. Again, this caution coming out, it's the first caution of the day, and it was called by NASCAR. There was no debris or no accidents taking place on the racetrack.
Remember in practice yesterday, guys were saying tires won't last
5 laps, 6 laps.
Tops. Now, how smart is Goodyear? Only thing they do is what they have to do, which is bring a tire that will wear so that the heat will dissipate and they don't blister tires. They wear them, but that's what they're supposed to do, is wear. They run 30 laps here, not a sign of a problem, and it'll only get better as each lap passes, Phil.
One of the things, Phil, I apologize, but one of the things they're going to be obviously looking at very closely will be the tire wear when they come on, and Adam and Tony are going to be down there on pit road, so they'll be able to tell us whose tires are maybe wearing the most consistently.
Yeah, that's right. Because, a lot of things can go into how their chassis are working, what kind of camber they have in the front ends of these trucks. So that's something that all these crew chiefs really want to take a look at, is how their tire wear is. But as Michael said, we know that we can run 30 laps. Actually, these tires had qualifying on them too, so they've now 32, 33 laps on them, and obviously not a sign of a problem yet.
We were expecting the pit window to be between 50 and 60, so if we go back to green flag racing and we're able to stay for a long green flag run, we know they can at least go that far as long as fuel. At least we would hope they would.
There's a couple of trucks, though, that are just dominant. Kyle Busch and Hornaday drove away from everyone, so it'll be interesting to see how these adjustments, these guys are coming to pit road for the first time. Be interesting to see how they adjust their trucks, Tony Rizzuti, and try to make them better to keep up with the torrid pace the front two are set.
Mike Skinner, the first to hit pit road. He's complained that the truck is good getting in, but loose when he gets back to the gas. They'll make a 2-tire change, also go 2 rounds down on the track bar, down to Adam Alexander.
4 tires fuel for Kyle Busch. They're going to make a chassis adjustment. They think they can make this better. Richie Waters also calling for the team to wipe off the grill. For Ron Hornaday, 4 tires fuel, no adjustment.
Go.
Satisfied with how this truck is handling all the way,
3,900.
The service is complete. Top of your screen for Kyle Busch. He's down and away, but the 2-tire stop going to get Mike Skinner off of pit road first.
That's interesting, huh?
Yeah.
What a strategy.
Now,
That's that extra 2 tires that Goodyear allowed the teams and NASCAR allowed the teams to have.
Yeah.
He just went ahead and put those on. He's still got all his other tires left.
Yeah, there was no tire wear issue with the left side either.
Kyle Busch was leading when they came on to pit road, and now we've got a new leader here at Atlanta. Welcome back. Pit stops are over, and yes, that is a lone tire making its way around this racetrack, and that's not on pit road. That actually took place on the back stretch and then went almost all the way through turns 3 and 4. Patrick Shelter in that number 12, losing the right rear, and he's going to make his way back down onto pit road.
You see the damage to that truck when that tire left. That tire just about beat him back around the racetrack.
No, I'm kind of concerned about that. Maybe driving's not all what it's cracked up to be. The tire did about as good as Patrick did.
Adam Alexander.
The quickest thing to happen in this 33 pit today was Rick Wren, the crew chief, getting off the box and coming down to look at the tires after the pit stop was complete. And you can see they're continuing to look at them. The one thing Rick just told me is they look a lot better now than they did yesterday after that opening practice, what you would expect with all the rubber that's been put in this racetrack since that time. And the only area they showed cords is where Hornaday slid the truck coming to a stop for the pit stop. So I think there's always reason for concern when you're running for a championship, but they're not overly concerned at this early stage. Tony?
On the turn 4 end of pit road, Mike Skinner's right side tires look fairly good. They're obviously worn a little bit more than we would expect, but no cord showing for his tires. A little bit of wear more on the inside of the tire for his Toyota Tundra.
Well, and guys, you talk about the 51. He was the leader, and you can see they're going to go to work on those tires as well. We did have a report that there were some cords showing for the 51. Now, I've not had a chance to actually look at these tires. We will follow up there, but this is a team that complained about it yesterday, and there you can see on the telestrator being circled where the cords are showing. So Kyle Busch perhaps going to ease it back on this next run, or perhaps, Phil, Michael, that's why they made the adjustment after that first run of the day to make sure they take care of those tires. You guys can add more on that, I'm sure.
Well, that's a concern, but that's all it is. That's just a product of a tire that wears. And let me reiterate, the reason why the tires wear is to dissipate heat. These trucks go so fast through these turns, if that rubber doesn't wear off, the tires will heat up and blister. And blistering is the worst thing you can have. Wear is just a product of taking care of the blistering.
And that's a lot of times we talk about how thin the rubber is actually on these tires, and that's the very reason for that. much unlike a street car that has a lot of rubber on the tires. These tires have no more than about 4/32 of an inch.
Almost there. He's going. He's going.
Green flag back in the air. Mike Skinner leads the field this time. Just behind him, it's Mark Martin. Running third now is Kyle Busch. Fourth, Ron Hornaday. And rounding out the top 5 is Ted Musgrave.
Now remember, Mike Skinner definitely only put 2 tires on. He just changed right side tires. Again, no issues with the left side tires in the practice yesterday. And remember, that right side tire that these trucks are on are the same tires that the COTs will test as we see a battle for the lead. Mark Martin goes for the lead.
But the 2 guys behind him, the 51 and the 33, both got 4 new tires on. The dudes in the front only have 2 new ones.
Coming out of turn number 4 into the tri-oval. Ron Hornaday on the inside. Mike Skinner on the outside. Right behind him is Kyle Busch.
Mark Martin looked for the lead going into 3, and he's running 5th right now.
Look at Musgrave sneaking up in the middle of this mess.
Ted Musgrave now on the bottom of the racetrack. He'll move up very close to Mike Skinner as they come off of turn 2.
And Skinner and Mark Martin were very well aware that they wouldn't be able to hold these guys off. This is a strategy play, Phil. They're
3 wide.
all over one another.
Matt Crafton on the outside. It was Rick Crawford on the inside. Jack Sprague was sandwiched in between there. He's still sandwiched in between 3 wide as they go across the start-finish line.
Got the 8 of Chad McCumbee on the inside. Jack Sprague's in the middle. There's Willie Allen on the outside as we continue to watch the battle between Hornaday and Kyle Busch.
I think there's got to be a sense of urgency for all these guys when they saw how fast Kyle Busch came around to lap them. I mean, he was right on their bumper only 30 laps into the race. So these guys want to go get these positions now while they got some fresh tires on their trucks.
We saw Kyle Busch running up a lot higher on the racetrack, and it looked as though there was more wear on his right side tires. Could running up high give him a little bit of an issue?
Yeah, it could have a little bit of that might be a factor, but also he's going a lot faster than everybody else, and that too can factor into it. There's 100 things. That truck's balanced really well there, though, and he didn't have much wear for as fast as he was going. Look at these guys.
2 and 3 wide all the way down the backstretch.
Looks like we're at Talladega. And I don't know if these guys are up.
Great view of that number 8 Garmin Chevrolet, driven by Chad McCumbee. Chad's driven that truck up into the top 10, started back in the 19th position.
Joey Clanton just taking that 10th spot away from Chad McCumbee. Rick Crawford has dropped back into the 9th spot. It's Ron Hornaday out in front of this field. Kyle Busch running second to him. About 0.3 of a second separate these top 2 Chevrolets. Welcome back. Here's the problem. Our second caution has come out. This time it was for an accident. Chad Chaffin involved in it. Josh Wise is involved in it. And you see the 75 of Clay Rogers, and Clay Rogers climbing out of that truck.
Yeah, heavy damage to a lot of these trucks. We're talking about running over 180 miles an hour, and trouble happens on the racetrack like it does, and there's a lot of damage. I think we can go back, and Josh got out of shape a little bit. You see somebody went through the mud there. It looks like Travis Kittleson. Look at the mud all over that truck. I'm not sure how he has any mud because we haven't had rain here in 3 or 4 months, but
Sprinkler system.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what just took place, and this just happened moments ago because you can see the safety crews helping out these drivers as they're getting out of their trucks.
There's Clay Rogers right there. Watch this now. Watch in the middle.
Looked like Josh had a head of steam on the 40 and tried to lay off of him because someone was up underneath him on the inside and got loose.
See, Travis Kittleson did not make any contact. That's him right up your screen.
If you wonder why he's spinning now, he can't see.
Tim Sauter in that 07 Lester Buildings Chevrolet did a nice job avoiding. You see Josh get sideways, and he makes contact on the inside with that 75 truck of Clay Rogers. Clay, in turn, hits the 40 of Chad Chaffin.
Tim Sauter, I think, in that 07 is saying to himself, unbelievable how I made it through this one.
Yeah, what a nice job he did get by that.
He's on the radio saying, did y'all see me get through that? Did y'all see what I just did?
Wow, and that gave you a shot of what Tim Sauter saw as far as he was riding right behind all of this accident and really threaded the needle.
You can see Josh, the 75 started to come up, and Josh wanted to lay off of the 40 on the outside, just was in a place that he couldn't get out of.
See, Brendan Gaughan does a nice job also getting through there. Travis Kittleson went by through the grass. Looked like Tim Sauter had to avoid every truck that was involved in that accident. Did a nice job.
Safety crews are taking care of the drivers and taking care of the trucks that are on the racetrack. Willie Allen gets the Aaron's lucky dog from this second caution. When we come back, we'll line them all back up. Take a look at who is involved in this crash. Josh Wise, Travis Kittleson, Chad Chaffin, and Clay Rogers.
Tell you who else was involved? Tim Sauter. He just didn't hit anything. He was right in the middle of it and drove his way through it.
Take another look at what just took place.
Right of your screen, you see the 00 get a little bit loose in between those two trucks. He makes contact with the 75, turns him into the 40. Those trucks have a lot of damage. You see on the very outside of the racetrack, that's the 07 of Tim Sauter. Travis Kittleson went by through the grass. TJ Bell tried to avoid it, unfortunately made a little bit of contact with the outside wall. He's made several pit stops here to try to repair that damage. There's another view of the same situation. There's Tim Sauter barely avoiding the 00 of Josh Wise. Now he's got the 50 running across the racetrack in front of him and the 08 spinning in front of him.
Everybody wanted to spin in front of Tim Sauter, and he just kept missing them.
Look at this. Watch this on board. This will show you a good shot of Tim Sauter. You see him there and there. Just our second caution of the day from Atlanta Motor Speedway. In front of the field, it's still Hornaday, Kyle Busch, Todd Bodine, Mark Martin, and Ted Musgrave, your top 5. When we come back, we'll see the green flag once again. Let's go down trackside. Tony Rizzuti, what's going on with Skinner?
Well, Mike Skinner's come in. He's complaining that the truck is extremely loose, so much so that he's had to slow down. They went to the left rear of the car, pulled a spring rubber out of that left rear. Mike Skinner is down and away.
And again, remember, Mike Skinner came in and only changed right side tires, so now obviously they were able to get new left side tires in for that truck, and they did a chassis adjustment by pulling the spring rubber.
Yeah, quite a few other. There you see Eric Darnell, and he's also has left side tires going on that Northern Tool and Equipment Ford for Jack Roush. Adam, what's going on down there?
Yeah, they were talking about extremely loose, and this early in the going, a good opportunity to come down and work on it, so I'm sure that's the call for Matt Puchin and the guys. He said on a scale of 1 to 10 in the loose category, this thing's an 11. That was the word from Eric Darnell on the radio, so trying to make it better for the guy who finished 3rd here 1 year ago.
I don't think that 11 fits in that 1 to 10 scale.
Somebody needs to have a talk with him. Hey, Krista.
Aerial coverage provided to you by Goodyear. Krista, I think, riding co-pilot here today for track-tested technology. Get there on Goodyear Innovation.
Krista's doing a nice job up there. Is she operating the camera?
She may be running the camera.
Yeah.
She's doing a fine job.
Let's see if we can talk to Kyle Busch. They're going to give him 1 to go. Hey, Kyle Busch, I know there's 1 to go real quickly. How's that Chevrolet?
Well, it's pretty good. We've got a bit of an issue on the left front, but nothing too serious. We got some work to do at the shop, but we'll get it fixed for next time at Texas. So all in all, 33 is pretty quick, and you know, it's going to be a hard cat to pass here in the late going. So we'll give it all we got.
All right, buddy. We know you've taken this truck to victory lane before here, so we know you had to do it. Good luck.
All right, thanks, guys.
I always think talking on the left front, you think it's a camber issue? Maybe he saw more wear on that corner than he thought?
Must have. He knew. He said we have to go back to the shop to repair that, so... Or maybe he might be bottoming out or something, because obviously Kyle's one of the trucks that runs that coil mine setup, so maybe hitting a little bit too hard.
Before we go back to green, Tony Rizzuti is with Josh Wise.
Josh Wise has walked from the infield care center, and Josh, looks like you were the meat and the sandwich off of turn 4. We got a replay of it. Take us through what happened.
Yeah, I just kind of put myself in a bad position there, I think. You know, kind of hole closed up on me there, but I probably shouldn't have been there in the first place. So I just hate it for everyone at Darrell Waltrip Motorsports and everyone who's you know, giving me these opportunities. Just need to put myself in better positions than that.
This was the final truck race of the year for Josh Wise. Unfortunately, it will end early for the driver of the Aaron's Toyota. Rick?
Thanks, sir. Field now working their way through 4, and Randy Kaiser will take that pace truck down onto pit road. Field back in the hands of Ron Hornaday. Kyle Busch running second. Top of line, Mark Martin.
Green flag,
Ted Musgrave, your top 5.
All clear, all rolling here.